word caste system itself. You know, the word caste comes from a Portuguese word called casta. That is the original word, and it simply means the purity of blood. Caste system is a label, you must understand, that was like actually imposed by the Europeans when they were here. You know, our concept in Sanskrit, the word is Varna system.
Şimdi yağmur biraz durdu. Burada Goa'da tanıştığım, çok sevdiğim bir arkadaşımın yanına gidiyorum. İsmi Harsh. Harsh bir Brahman. Şimdi neden Brahman olduğundan bahsettim. Bugün biraz kastla ilgili konuşacağız. Kast sistemiyle ilgili konuşacağız. Kendisi Brahman ve askeri bir background'dan geliyor. Yani askeri bir geçmişi var. Ailesi asker. Böyle bir disiplinden geliyor kendisi. Şimdi eve geldim. Harsh'a geldim. Burada biraz muhabbet edeceğiz. Kast sistemiyle ilgili biraz konuşacağız. Hello Harsh.
Hi Mark, how are you?
Good, how are you? How is it going?
I'm fine.
You good?
Yeah.
Everything is okay? Thank you so much. It's raining.
Yeah, just started the rain, you know.
Yeah.
The monsoon season is like...
You think it's gonna be like this?
It'll be, yeah, for the month of July it's going to be like that.
Oh,
maybe
all July.
All July, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe till mid-August, then it starts to recede slowly.
Okay. Yes, now we are here to talk about caste system.
Sure.
Which people really try to talk about it, but they don't have really information.
Yeah, that's a problem that I've also noticed.
How did you first start studying these subjects, caste system especially?
There was a certain point in my life when I made a very conscious decision to go back and start relearning or looking deeper into history and how these things happened, came about. What we studied during history about the caste system is pretty much inspired by what the British have written about the caste system, and that is the British colonialists who were here on a missionary activity to convert India to Christianity. You know, so everything, the narrative that we study in school, as well as the narrative that the world understands about the caste system, is that, but that is motivated because that has an agenda behind it, you know.
Exactly.
And the agenda was those days in the context to convert the people of India into Christianity. So using or exploiting this caste system,
For converting people from Hinduism to
Christianity.
That is very interesting because I would assume the opposite way, you know, because when you think about caste system, you always associate it with Hinduism.
Yeah.
But it's actually an interesting point.
Because see, before Christianity came, or even Islam came, India was for a very long, thousands of years, 5,000-10,000 years. It was pretty much like Sanatan Dharma was the original word, of which Hinduism would be the modern avatar. But the original word is like Sanatan Dharma, which means the eternal Dharma, you know.
How can you describe caste system
one context you should understand when you talk about, let's say, untouchables, right? Every culture, this work used to be done through manual scavenging, and there were people who used to clear that. It's not like today's flush toilets where we just flush it and the waste has disappeared. If you look at the history of, let's say, even Europe, over there even you would find that the people who used to clean the sewers were pretty much like an untouchable class. They used to be called gong farmers in English word. If you see how they were treated in that society, it is pretty much similar to what you may have heard about, like,
actually it is exactly the same. They are treated.
They used to live outside the cities, Similarly here also, those people used to live outside the cities. Even your countries, like, history, you would learn as to how these people who used to do the manual scavenging work, and you may find that it's not all that different for that era or that time. Like, if you remove all these labels aside and you just simply look at their treatment from one class to another class, it's pretty much similar in that sense. And then now is the word caste system itself. The word caste comes from a Portuguese word called casta, and it simply means the purity of blood. How pure your blood is. And when the Portuguese colony, the imperialism had started, it had gone, I think, to America, South America, and all that. So there were these children born of the mixed caste. So this casta was kind of, the more whiter the person, the more pure the blood was. It's a very like a Portuguese word. It's label, caste system,
It's not even originated from English.
I guess casta was made into caste by English.
Okay, that's interesting. Actually, another question that people might want to ask is the relationship between Hinduism and the caste system. Like, should we really associate caste system with Hinduism, or it is just a cultural practice?
Like, caste system is a label, you must understand, that was like actually imposed by the Europeans when they were here, But originally, I will tell you what we had, or our concept in Sanskrit, the word is Varna system. Now, Varna is pretty much these four classes of people which we mentioned like earlier. Like, I wouldn't say it's a pyramid actually, because I'll tell you why. If you see the classical Hindu texts or sources, it says all men are born Shudra, and it's your gunas. Gunas means qualities. It's your qualities and karma. Karma means action. So it's your qualities and action that determine your varna. Meaning to say that everybody is born a Shudra, but each and every person's own qualities, temperaments, attitudes, talents, these determine what your varna should be. This is what the Hinduism texts say.
So it says everybody is actually equal.
Yes.
First.
Yes.
First they are equal, but then
they are born equal.
They're born equal, and then your actions and all other stuff,
attributes and
everything,
determines
your caste actually.
Your varna. Varna is the word. Varna, Varna is the Sanskrit word, and it just simply means your occupation, what you do,
If Varna is occupation, then it's just occupation, nothing more than that, right?
Yeah, it's just occupation as far as I understand it. It is simply your profession. It is a division of the society based on your occupation. And it's also based on three sources of power. One is knowledge, the other is weapons, and the third is money, wealth.
Yes.
So wealth and land. So this was also, the Varna system was a mechanism in which no one group had control of all the resources. You see, so that is why the Brahmin had only the control over knowledge, but not wealth. In fact, his whole life, the Brahmin was living pretty much in charity of what other people used to give him. He was not like a millionaire sitting somewhere. He was pretty much giving education for free.
Like intellectuals, you can say.
Yeah, anything to do with your mind, teaching, intellectual, even priests. It's interpretation of the Hindu scriptures, because we have vast body of scriptures, like there are thousands of works actually. So to interpret them, to teach them to society, Sanskrit scholars, these were the works that were like done by the Brahmins, to give education for free. And they used to live on pretty much what the society used to give them, Then the second source of power is weapons, So So the Kshatriya, the warrior class, used to be the ruling, like the kings and all that used to be Kshatriyas. But they did not hold the knowledge with them, nor did they hold land and wealth with them.
Actually, physically strong. They are just physically strong, right?
Their duty, they're physically strong because they are the warrior class. And their job was to protect the society from like invaders, outside invaders, attacks, to maintain the law and order inside the own society.
Right.
All these, like, you know, the job of police, the job of army, was all like done by the warrior class, right? Sustained by, you know, the taxes which were paid from the business class or the Vaishya. The Vaishya is the business, you know, class, and also the people who are into agriculture, farming, cattle rearing. Landowners, yeah, because they're farming and all. The third class.
You can say it, right?
Yeah.
The third one.
Yeah.
Brahmins,
Kshatriyas,
then
Vaishyas. Vaishyas are the business and traders, and you know.
So you can't even compare them. Like their categories are very different.
It's actually pretty much horizontal.
So it's not like Brahmins and then other classes. It's not like that. It's a horizontal line.
Yes, it is. It is meant to be a horizontal line. Yes, there is always an abuse of the system can happen. You know. So that is what has happened in India's history as well. Some class of Brahmins, somewhere at some time, may have been abusive. They may have, like, you know, practiced it like a pyramid, when it's not meant to be a pyramid. Like today, like, you know, cruelty to animals is banned by the constitution, right? But still you see some people being cruel to animals. What the law is and what is practice. So some people are kind also, some people are cruel also. Yeah. It is meritocracy. It is based on your merit.
Your father is a farmer and then you're born to be a farmer. It's not like that.
There is an element of that also. You know why? Because at some point the Varna system became kind of birth-based. My son will be a Brahmin, or a farmer's son will be a, you know, farmer, or so a warrior's son will become a warrior. That element is also there. But what I can say is that the sources of Hinduism, the texts, if you read the Mahabharata, if you see the Ramayana, you know, if you go there, they say that all men are born Shudra, and it is your attributes, that your gunas and karmas, means your qualities and your actions, that determine your varna.
So is it true, if your karma is good in this life, in the next life, you will maybe, potentially, you will become a higher caste, as you understand today? Not only
in next life, but in this very life, you know. You can.
Even in the same lifetime.
Yes, there have been throughout history, that's what I'm saying, you know. Okay, let's say one of India's greatest emperor, this Chandragupta Maurya, he was born as a Shudra. Right? He was just a shepherd boy. Initially, he was like, you know, he wanted to learn, but he was denied education by his teacher, by the teaching class.
Because of his caste.
Saying that, no, we only take Brahmin students and we will not take you, you know. But then again, it is another teacher from the same place who agrees to teach him.
Okay.
He takes him as a student. So there is like there is a abuse of the system, and there are people who are reforming it. There are always, like, you know, people fighting this also.
Just like how we do it today.
How we do it today. He goes on to become the greatest kings in Indian history. And
so he comes from being
Shudra to a Kshatriya, you know. Kshatriya. So that's what I'm saying. This intermobility between the Varnas, the different classes of people, occupation, is the right way to practice it. Why it was like birth-based is because in a place where if you don't have, like, say, centers for you to train you in certain skills, then through your own family you're trained in that skill. You know, your father is let's say, makes cotton textiles.
Yes.
So for you at the age of 8 or 9 to learn
everything about learn that.
Yeah, it's in a way, it's in your blood. It becomes in your blood. Exactly. And you know, somebody at the age of even 20, 25, who may have, you know, spent 5 years in some textile industry, manufacturing, you may at the age of 10 or 12 do a better job than... Because it's in your blood, like, you know.
Even if it's not in your blood, you can see it practiced.
That's what I mean.
In the house.
Like, you're born into it, and then you're living in a community. Like, even your village is like composed of people, because they used to live as a community as well. So let's say these textile makers would live in a small, like a group of, like, say, 20 houses in a village, where there will be only a village of, let's say, you know, textile makers. Somebody will be a village of, you know, blacksmiths, ironsmiths, somebody goldsmiths. So this way it was easy for them to, you know, pass on their skills. We have to look at the positive side also, because at a very young age it empowers a child with a skill, an economic skill, so that he never has to go hungry, or, you know, he can earn his living. There is
by his father's practice.
Absolutely. there is a positive aspect to that as well. But it becomes abusive when you say that you cannot do anything else. That's when it becomes like abusive. People have abused it in history. I'm not at all denying it. But at the same time, there are many people who have even stood against it and said this is wrong and we should correct it.
So actually what you're saying is the caste system has been out there. It's been practiced. Just because it is abused by some people doesn't mean that this system is bad.
Absolutely. Even name, because I don't want to take the name caste because like for us, we have a word like, the Varna. So that's why, you see, even when you use the wrong words, then what happens is that you start associating. Let's say what kasta and all means, then it's very easy for you to fall into that propaganda of purity, of racial blood and all that.
Then from now on, we remove the word caste.
That's what we are actually fighting against also. We should not even call it caste system, it's the Varna system, because that's what it originally is,
Exactly. Thank you so much for the conversation. It was really good and valuable.
Most welcome, my friend. And
so much.
Yes, good luck to you as you learn and travel across India. Bye.
Arkadaşlar bu videoyu beğendiyseniz ve diğer içerikleri de beğeniyorsanız kanalıma abone olursanız ve aynı zamanda beğendiğiniz videoları beğene tıklayıp yorum yaparsanız bu videoların erişimini yükseltir ve daha çok insana ulaşmamı sağlar. Şimdiden teşekkür ederim. Görüşmek üzere.